what's up everyone? So today is only Tuesday morning, so to say, right? London session right now during Tuesday. So it's early to say, yo, this is going to be one of those weeks, but I think sometimes people struggle with this. So we'll go through it, and it's just the reality slash the trading game in general. So we're looking for our entries, okay? Based on our strategy, we wait for a shift or a zone break, all right? And then we always want to enter in the previous zone. So you might have been waiting, for example, let's say 1 hour for this shift for you to finally enter your trade. Price does that, and you don't get tagged in, and then you miss the move. Okay, you have to understand this is part of trading. Sometimes price will not give you a shift at all, and you have your entry set in there. Sometimes you'll have your entry set here, and price will come all the way up, and you have to go through all this drawdown. So if you get tagged, you get tagged. If you don't, you don't. So we'll look at some examples from this week. So yesterday, we'll just talk about the stream this week. So this is the trade we wanted on Monday stream. We had a nice break of structure here to the upside. Right, price shifted bullish, giving us a zone from this high to this low. This was the zone we were focusing on. And you can see we had this as a shallow first tap. So we were not using this as liquidity. We were instead using this as our first tap. So we weren't using this as our protected low, we're using this as liquidity. So there, we now have a potential 6 taps forming. So our confirmation was just above this high for our market structure reasons. We're not going to get into that today, but that was the high we wanted. So nice. Now we have our shift. We have our 6 taps. We've waited patiently for everything. Now, if this is our zone shift, we simply want to enter in this zone here. So I identified it was exactly this area of demand, and my entry was in here. Stop loss below, targeting that higher high. This was the play we were waiting for yesterday. Let's play it out. Yesterday was bad, but you can see it came and it worked and it didn't tag us in, okay? I don't cry about it. I don't move my entry here, etc. I don't start chasing up here. I just accept it. You have to move on to the next. So we'll go on to today's setup. So today we traded the London session with the team. We were focusing on this breaker structure to this high here, and we were focusing on this zone now. And if we look at our 6 taps, we had a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we wanted this to be swept. Perfect. We swept that. We now have our 6 taps. We just wait for our confirmation to short, which I'll show it on the lower time frame what we were waiting for. We'll play it out. Okay, so it was here. I was now ready to short, believing this 6 tap would play out and deliver to this higher time frame low. This, if we go back to the higher time frame, this higher time frame low. Again, this is now my lower time frame zone. So my entry was literally, right, if we look at it, that was my confirmation I had. And I was looking for price to literally retrace 2.75 points, which is nothing, okay? That was just a small retracement I wanted to then target this low down here. So we'll do that. Stop was above this swing high. And that will be the final target. As you can see, price did not retrace and continued to dump. So that would be 2 perfect trades we could have taken if we chased. But you have to understand, like I said, this is part of the game. Now, for my next setup, okay, am I now just going to immediately start chasing price? I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to have a zone. And if price does not come back to my zone, I will not enter my trade, because now let's say we get a session trade later on today, me waiting for price to come, tag me, and dump will feel so much more satisfactory than me chasing and even winning, or me chasing and potentially losing. So if you don't get your zone entry, then just don't take the trade.